All right, let's get started. So the last 3 years, including the one coming, so for three times now, we have begun to emphasize 3 aspects of our vision statement. Our vision is to be a cathedral for Houston and embodies the city's diversity, inspires faith, leads change for the common good of all people and communities. So in 2017, we started to highlight those parts of our ministries where we have attempted to embody what we believe of the reign of God, the kingdom of God, which is diverse and beautiful, just like the city of Houston. And so we've tried to make some efforts in that direction. In 2018, we talked to that part of our vision that has to do with inspiring faith. We hope that all that we're doing is inspiring faith, but we certainly know we take a direct effort at that in some areas, which we highlighted last year. And then for the coming year, our theme is around the common good, leading change for the common good. So let's look at 2018 and a bit about inspiring faith. Am I standing in the right way or am I in your way? Can you see? Y'all okay? Okay, great. Worship. Certainly worship is how we center our lives together. In fact, our mission statement, to back up a moment, our vision is that aspirational statement, that what I'd call a horizontal statement, who we aspire to be, who we believe God is calling us to be. That's our vision, to be a cathedral for the city in all these ways. That's our vision. A mission statement functions as sort of marching orders. A mission statement functions as the operational way that you're going to achieve this vision, or you're going to pursue this vision. So as a part of our mission statement, the first thing that we say is that we're centered around vibrant worship. We agree that we center ourselves around vibrant worship, don't we? What a beautiful way that we're inspired week after week in vibrant worship. We particularly wanted to emphasize that last year because last year was a year of transition. And I guess February, Chris, we welcomed Christopher Betts. Christopher, would you stand and let everybody wave at you and give thanks for you? Chris, we're so glad you're here and on our team, and I'm so glad we've had these many months already, and we've already enjoyed, as the slide says, being encircled by these vibrant worship practices that really enliven our faith. And what that means, of course, is Sunday morning worship that we so enjoy, but also now what has become in the last couple of years a regular rhythm of evensongs, whereas in the further past, that was a service that we had on High Holy Days at various points in the year. And now roughly we host about once a month an evensong service in the afternoon. And those are sung by various choirs within our music program. And so evensong, and then a host of other services that encircle our life together. Make a plug for Wednesday Communion. Wednesday Communion at 12:15 every week. You can take Holy Communion. John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist movement, really advocated for us to be in constant communion with each other, and he meant the Lord's Supper in the way that brings us back into face-to-face community with God and with each other. So if you're near St. Paul's on Wednesdays around 12:15, you can catch your lunch hour or catch your time of day and come in and hear beautiful music, liturgy, a sermon, and be out in 45 minutes. So I want to encourage that. All right, missions. Missions is another part of our mission statement that helps us to pursue the vision that we talked about earlier. 2018 had a lot to do with Harvey relief recovery. It was, of course, August and September of 2017 that our city was barraged by that storm. And as we announced in worship today, we're still doing Harvey relief recovery efforts. I want to give thanks to God for Amy Taylor. Amy, where are you? Amy, stand and let everybody thank God for you. Amy's our director of missions, and she's kept us not just through that early period of Harvey relief that was so intense and all-consuming, but Amy has done what a lot of folks don't do, and that is she's stuck with Harvey relief as something long-term. After it's out of headlines, we're still doing that work. So, Amy, thank you for you and your team doing that. This, I think, is the most recent team we sent out a few weeks ago. So this is a recent slide. Several of you in the room, I see up in the photo, a good team that went out to do Harvey recovery. And there's another one going this coming Saturday if you want to join. There's another one going December the 1st, I think. So if you want to join in there. All right, our McGregor Elementary, something else also that Amy helps to coordinate with Bob Malstedt. I didn't see Bob in the room today, but Bob is our champion for McGregor mentors and has been for 20 years now, we've been sending mentors over to McGregor School. Many of you are mentors, and that's increased only in the last year to two. And so we're really thankful that we continue to stay connected to McGregor Elementary School. If you don't know where McGregor is, it's actually just a few blocks to our east going towards 288. McGregor is embedded down in that neighborhood, and we've had a relationship connection with them for years that started with our after-school program and grew into a mentoring program. And we're going to talk about the after-school program here in just a moment. Hospitality. Hospitality is another part of that mission statement, a way that we organize ourselves. And the way that we think about hospitality here at St. Paul's is certainly friendliness and welcome and all those things, but also even deeper, we think about hospitality in terms of caring ministry for our congregation and for those who come our way. So you see the face of that in groups like Pat's hospitality team. You also see the face of that at our welcome table out in the plaza or over by Abraham Station, even now that we've moved classes over for our renovation. We've jumbled up a lot of our Sunday school classes and located all kinds of ways. So our hospitality team has pivoted to have a place, a station of welcome over there as well as here. And I can't tell you the difference I have seen that make in people, visitors, as they come to our campus trying to find their way in a place that may be familiar to most or all of us, but can be a very foreign place for somebody who chooses to come and park in that parking lot and walk across and try to figure out where to go. So those welcome tables, our greeters, we can thank so many people for that. Jennifer West really got us rolling in that way. Nina Hall, where are you, Nina? I saw Nina. There you are, Nina. Nina coordinates hospitality for us. And she works with Andrew Wolf, too, in caring ministries. We're going to talk about here in a bit, but caring ministries for our congregation, its members, and for our the community around us, which is a growing part of that ministry. This is a program that I've talked a lot about because this is something Andrew dreamed up and led us in. And that is something I just wanted to lift up today as a real highlight for me personally, and we sure hope for the families that were visited. This year, Andrew had the idea for pastors to visit third graders who would be receiving their Bibles. We give third graders Bibles to third graders every fall in early October, usually early October, late September. And so that added simple touch meant that there was a pastor in the home of 25 or so third graders, 25 families, third graders, all over our city. And all of our pastors traveled far and near because we're scattered all over the city, traveled far and near to be in those homes for 20, 25, 30 minutes. But in my couple of experiences doing that, those were such a meaningful time, both with those children and those parents and families. We shared favorite Bible stories, said a prayer together. Those children were often more talkative than I envisioned. They were anxious to talk and talk to a pastor and to meet with their parents in their home. And nothing can really replace that. So, Andrew, I want to thank you. And as long as we're having people stand up, please do that. It's one of those simple things that made a real difference to families. Andrew also and his team, Richard Spa and many others. Richard's been so key in our congregational care ministries for years. Denise, Larry, so many others joining our prayer team and our visitation ministries. And I want you to also see who they are. So Richard, Denise, Larry, you didn't know I was doing this, but please stand up for just a moment. Thank you for your service. And I know I missed others who are part of both that prayer team and a part of our visitation teams. Jane Williams, Sherry Beeman, other lay people that also visit folks in their homes. And then Fellowship Fridays. We've come to enjoy Fellowship Fridays as a way that inspires faith in community with each other. Fellowship Friday is something we do in the spring and in the fall both. And each time we've begun to see about 100 to 120 St. Paul's folks gather in homes all across our city. We have a very, what I'd call a Sunday-centric experience at St. Paul's. Folks drive a long way to be in that sanctuary, to hear that choir, to be a part of that worship service, to be in this campus, on this place. And then I know that many of you and all the rest of others drive back home and continue your lives, your commutes, your involvement in schools and all the rest of it. So these couple of times a year, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be the St. Paul's community in your neighborhood and to go where the people are and to gather in a home of other folks who are part of this community of faith. So if you've never done Fellowship Friday, you should do that and look for doing that in the spring. There have also been some neighborhood studies and small groups that have grown out of these Fellowship Friday gatherings. And so if you have an interest in that, you need to tell Nina, and she can work with you about that. Faith formation. This goes by many names. Faith formation, Christian education, discipleship. We call this faith formation here only because we think about formation as a holistic thing that happens for the whole person. And the formation, that word formation kind of connotes that this isn't just something for the head or just for the heart. This is something or for the soul. This is for all of us, that we are formed in faith. And it's the way that we think about our Bible studies, our small groups, our youth ministries, our children's ministries. So I want to talk a little bit about that. We've seen a real uptick in our engagement with small groups and Bible studies, particularly this fall. We continue to do those studies that have been around a while, like Disciple Bible Study and all of its evolutions and different manifestations of Disciple Bible Study. We also continue to do lectionary Bible studies, 3 of those each week. We continue to do other groups, of course, on Sunday mornings. Sunday school is a big part of what faith formation is for many of you. Sunday school classes both at 9:45 and at 11:05. And we have a couple of classes that have continued at the 11 o'clock hour for those who are attending earlier in the morning. So we're really pleased about the growth in faith formation and that more and more people are a part of a group. We also continue to be really inspired by special needs ministry that happens every Sunday morning and at other times, but especially Sunday morning. And Helen Spall leads us in that. Is Helen, I didn't see Helen, but is Helen here? Yeah, she's taking care of the kiddos. Yes, she's where she needs to be. But Helen has particular training in this and really cares for our children with special needs during the Sunday school hour. And then I just simply say about our after-school program. Down the bottom left, you probably, or many of you have not met Cassie Nunez. Cassie's on the bottom left there. She's our after-school program director. Cassie's a Methodist pastor and is in a dual appointment, both to do this with lead this program with us, and she serves part-time at Bering Memorial United Methodist in a different sort of ministry. We've got her lead our after-school program, and she's fantastic. Ellen Edwards has done a lot to really transition that program in the last year. And Cassie came on board in August, and we're really excited about that new leadership. Anytime you're talking about stewardship in 2018, you got to take a pause and talk about this. Revive. So when you're talking about an annual budget, it's not always something you can look at. Although this is why we're here at lunch today. I want you to be able to look at these things that we're highlighting to understand what your gifts support and what your gifts resource in the life of the church. The Revive campaign is a long-awaited campaign that we initiated last spring in order to provide restoration, renovation, repair to the historic sanctuary building that we all love. And in that sanctuary building, there's going to be a massive amount of work being done that will commence in January, this coming January of 2019.